Every morning I look out, I see my front fence is down.
In the next 2 weeks, it will come to the roughly to the wall.
These homes perched on the edge of the sea could very soon be sliding away.
You can see it every day, getting a bit closer.
This photo was taken 15 years ago. Since then, the beach has disappeared, 15 metres of sand dunes washed away, and the bitumen roads crumbled into the sea.
You just imagine 3 big, beautiful sand dunes. Then you've got a beach of about, I would say, 20, 30 metres before you reach the water.
An hour and a half north of Perth in the fishing town of Seabird, up to 13 family homes are at risk of collapsing into the sea because of severe erosion.
Now we've got all the problems in the world and we're trying to rectify it, nobody will listen.
Over the past 10 years, Mac Formica has watched helplessly as the tide tears away his dream.
People are paying the rates, land rates, shire rates, and what do we get in return? Just a smack in the mouth, literally.
This is Mac's grandkids playing on the beach just a couple of months ago. And in the past few weeks alone, the ocean's claimed another 4 metres of coast.
When winter comes, there'll be nothing left.
Nobody wants to take responsibility.
Campaigner Gary Thomas says it's a disgrace.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke and it's a crying shame.
That collapse will probably fall in the next 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks' time, we won't be able to stand here. It'll be up to this wall here.
Definitely.
Seabird doctor Jim Batalen's property originally belonged to Frank Douglas, one of the first crayfishermen in the area. But any day now, his home and all that history will end up in the sea.
The tragedy there is that the house is built on caprock and it probably the weight of the house would slide downhill
Into the ocean.
before the water gets to the house.
Jim and his wife Dorothy say with their home now worthless, they've got no choice but to pack up and leave town.
It certainly is upsetting, but it makes me profoundly angry that it is feasible, but people are dragging their feet.
The problem was first reported more than a decade ago. Since then, very little's been done about it.
The Shire of Gingin recently spent more than $80,000 on sand replacement, where they bring in sand to prevent erosion. But that temporary measure washed away within months. Now they're left with 2 more permanent options, which were originally suggested more than 10 years ago.
Possible options include building groins to change the currents which would build the beach back up, or creating an outer reef which would reduce the impact of the waves.
The cost to build an offshore reef at that time was 1.3 million. I don't know what it would cost now, that we'd have to do studies again.
Gingin Shire President Michael Aspinall predicts it could be more than $5 million.
It's the ongoing cost and who would pay for that ongoing cost.
Money ratepayers can't afford, which is why they're demanding the state government step in.
We need a cooperation between all 3 parties. That's the state government, local government and the residents to come to some arrangement.
According to locals, the state government has buried its head in the sand. We contacted the Land and Transport Ministers and were told they were too busy to talk on camera, but issued statements saying they're organising meetings in light of the now urgent nature of the concerns.
I think it's ridiculous that the Shire and the government have allowed it to get to this stage.
But families fear now, after a decade, it's too little left too late.
Throw their hands in the air and say, it's not our responsibility. It is their responsibility. They've got to do something.